Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel, Diamonds and Washi. My name is Katie, and I am back today with my weekly WIP and Chat. Apologies that I'm a day late on this. With the holiday weekend, I decided to bump this by a day, but I always look forward to doing these every week, and my current WIP, or work in progress, is going to be a new diamond painting that I'd love for you to hang out with me while I kit up. And chat, that part of the WIP and Chat means that I'm just going to talk your ear off for the next hour. So if that sounds good to you, grab a cup of coffee, grab your own WIP, settle in. We're just going to hang out. It's going to be very relaxed and yeah, hopefully just a nice hour or so together. So I like to treat these like podcasts and put them on in the background while I'm getting stuff done or while I'm running errands or whatnot. So if you do like to watch, you'll get to see a rainbow of colors come to life because I'm going to be kitting up Rainbow Universe by Kaomi Harai from Diamond Art Club. And I'm really excited to have a batch of new WIPs about to roll out that I get to share with you guys. And I needed something colorful. And of course, the rainbows are perfect timing too. So we're gonna, take a look at this one. Now, I did actually film an unboxing of this kit. So I don't know why I bothered packing it back up. I filmed last night, like 6 videos or something, and I packed everything back up, I think just to keep it neat, and I didn't know how quickly I'd get around to actually doing the kitting up. So I know I'm pulling this out as though it's something new, but let me grab my sticker labels. I'm gonna see if I can make this storage work, but it depends, and I'll explain why. I have backup storage just out of frame, just in case that one ends up not actually working. Basically, this kit has 54 colors in it, and this storage has exactly 54 containers. Now, I'm fine if I have leftover bags that don't fit into the containers, but I'm hoping if I cut open one bag that even the biggest size DAC bag will fit in one container. If it doesn't, I may reevaluate what storage I use. But since I'm going to have multiple WIPs, I want to be efficient about the storage that I'm using. And this just was like, this would be too perfect for me to use for a kit with 54 colors. And then the extra bags, it's got this pocket right here that I could tuck the extra bags into. And as I run low on colors, I can just refill from it, you know? So that's kind of my thought process. But again, if like the most full of the drill bags won't fit easily into one of these, that I might have to kind of revisit that plan. So this canvas is really happy. You'll hear it in my voice, I'm sure, when that unboxing. It's going to be like a start to finish style review, so you won't see that for a bit. But the unboxing part of this, you'll hear. I just unwrapped this and I'm like, happy Lisa Frank minus the toxicity of that brand, but like all of the happy childhood associations. It's just so happy. I'm excited to work on this one. There's a good amount of color blocking too, and it's got round drills, so I bet it's not going to be like a super long-term project. But you know what I just realized? This is gonna be the second kit that like has a Pegasus with space in the background. I'll literally be working on 2 WIPs with that concept at the same time. I guess I have a type. Here I thought it was a dragon girly, but apparently Pegasus are favorites too. The other one is Herald of Spring, which I have a lot of thoughts on actually, but I am getting so far ahead of myself. Let me move this canvas out of the way. Or you know what? How happy would this be to just have hanging out in the background? This is a really happy color palette. If it's okay with you, hopefully it's not super distracting. We're just gonna tuck this back there. Yeah, let's do that. We'll just throw the colors on top. I like that. That's the good plan. Okay, let me get my tools and whatnot. Sticker labels. Here's this lovely pack of diamonds. This also has a lot of special drills, so I thought that could be fun to kit up together because you'll get to see all the really gorgeous special drills in this one. I'm going to keep this nearby because I'll put the cut bags into it. So, okay, sticker labels. Anyway, hello. How are you doing today? I hope that your Memorial Day weekend was a nice one. And if you have a loved one that you've lost, Thank you so much for their service. And if Memorial Day has other kinds of special or bittersweet meaning to you, I also am just sending all of my love your way as well. It was very, very relaxed for my family. We really just stuck pretty close to home and we didn't do a whole lot. Just kind of enjoyed having a quiet, long weekend at home. So not a ton to report on my end for the weekend. I did a big Filmapalooza. Kit Up Palooza is what I was calling what I'm about to be doing, where I'm kitting up a million different diamond paintings. No, last night was my filming sprint where I filmed a post review on the latest kit that I had finished so that I could free up as much storage as possible so that I could turn around and do a Kit Up Palooza. I've been enjoying this the past couple of months. I guess really just a month ago is when I started, a little over a month ago. I started participating in the 26 for 26 challenge that Nicole from Shire Shenanigans is hosting and had put out there. And for me, what that's looked like is working on a lot of WIPs at once, where normally I'm someone that likes to just have one, maybe two WIPs going at a time. I got up to 7 and I actually loved it. I'm shocked. I'm actually shocked at how much I loved it. And so I'm keeping up with that, actually. I'm currently down to 1 WIP. I just have Herald of Spring by Diamond Dots from the Masterclass line, the kit I've affectionately referred to as Gerald of Spring. And that particular kit, yeah, I have two and a bit, almost 2.5 columns left on it. It's so big that it really is taking quite a while to get through. And when I finished my last WIP, aside from that one a few days ago, I thought, okay, now I really actually have to decide, what do I want to work on next? What other WIPs do I want to add to the mix? I had this really obnoxious decision paralysis that I just kept getting really mired in, and I couldn't decide what did I want to work on next. I kept thinking about kits that may be coming out soon that I might want to work on, and feeling like, well, I want to have a nice sense of balance with it all, and just honestly overthinking it to the point that then I'd spent so much time debating what to do that then it became more serious than it needed to be. I don't know if you guys ever have had that happen, when you've had a decision that you need to make and it's actually not a big deal. It's not a big life-altering decision or something like that. But once you spend a certain amount of time thinking about it, all of a sudden it matters more what decision you land on, because it has much more weight behind it, because you spent so much time thinking about it. I don't know if that makes sense to anyone else, but that's where I found myself. And then I just finally sat down and was like, this is dumb. I'm just going to pick some WIPs. I'm just going to go with it. I wrote everything down. This I find to be really helpful and would highly suggest it if you're someone that similarly can get bogged down in decision paralysis. Is forcing myself to get it out of my head and onto paper is often really helpful. It makes it less abstract and makes it more concrete, because then I can just look at everything that's in my brain but laid out in front of me, and I can, look at and decide what to do with that information more easily, if that makes sense. So that's what I ended up doing, and that helped a lot, because I was able to see, okay, I want to do one of my kits that has rainbows in it. I kind of want to work on an Ivy Dollamore kit for the Ivy Dollamore event that's happening in June. I know I want to kit up my summer with the Masters kit, and then I want to mix it up with some non-DAC kits too. Let me grab this one store brand kit that I've been meaning to get to that, will be easy enough to add to the mix. So it ended up working out, being able to lay it out on paper like that. And what I decided to do with my worry about kits coming out that I might want to work on right away is I'll just make sure I have some extra storage still available, that if I want to do that, I just kit it up. It's fine. I could just add it to the mix. It's not going to be a big deal. Hopefully this actually works out. I think I'll feel better once I start diamond painting these new kits. That's really what it comes down to, is once I'm actually diamond painting them, it's not going to feel like it's a big deal. Now, before I get too far into this, I want to go ahead and open up one of these bigger bags like this one. Let me see if it'll fit in one of these containers by itself. Because then I think it will. But this will kind of determine if this is the storage I want to go ahead and go with for the rest of this kit. Okay, well that's about perfect. Okay, we'll go with that then, except static and there's diamonds flying everywhere. Okay, let me keep this handy because I want to make sure I put it, I'm going to keep them in DMC order. I don't know why. I just find that to work for my brain when the kit doesn't have too many colors. Once it has like much over 70 colors, 80 colors, then I start to think, okay, maybe I'll put these more in like a symbol order, if that makes sense. So I'm going to set this here so I can kit it up in order in a minute, and then these will be the extras that are going to get tucked in there. Let me grab my sticker labels. Let me get my dryer sheet handy so that if I do run into static again, I can make this a lot easier on myself. This dryer sheet trick I first heard of from Lena at Library of Diamonds, and it has been a huge lifesaver. I will pour the diamonds directly into this and kind of sift them around a little bit, and then pour them straight from here into a storage container, and I find that to help with the vast majority of any static that I run into. And if that doesn't quite do the trick, then I also sometimes will cut up another dryer sheet into smaller squares and tuck that into the bags with the diamonds, and that will help even further. So just some tips that I thought I would share. So let's go ahead and let's keep it rolling. I actually do like this storage style a lot. This is like a double size of the little itty bitty Tic Tac containers. I got this particular storage set from Unimade. I'm sure you can get it at other spots too. It was just when I was at a retreat that she was a vendor at, and I saw these. I like how thin the profile is on the storage set. I like this container size, and I actually find myself reaching for this one a lot, especially for usually like snack size kits. Of course, if it's a kit that has more than 54 colors, then I'm having to use another storage set on top of this one, or I just don't use it. But for smaller kits or kits that have a smaller number of colors like this, it works out, I think, pretty well. So are we? Yeah, we are in frame. Hopefully you'll be able to see that kind of rainbow of colors come to life here. So yeah, of the batch of kits that I just completed, I've had post reviews go up on all but 2 of those kits so far, plus Herald of Spring whenever I complete Herald of Spring. But I've done post reviews, I think, on the vast majority of the others, and most of them were unboxing to post review videos, which I'm really enjoying doing, which is why last night I decided to sit down. I told my husband, Adam, hey, if it's all right with you, if there's something you want to try to, like, movie or anything you want to watch together tonight, I'm just going to sit down and by sit down, I mean stand, you know what I mean, figuratively sit down, and I'm going to settle in and record a bunch of videos tonight, because most of the kits that I wanted to work on next were not kits that I had previously unboxed on my channel. So I thought this is a great opportunity for me to set up for more start to finish style review videos. But I wanted to film all of those so that then I could turn around and kit up all these projects and start them all at once. So that's why last night I was recording for like 2 hours or something. And it feels really good to have all that done. And typically I'm not someone that bulk films or batch films. I tend to just kind of do like a video the night before record like the video the night before it's going to go up. But that's not right. What color did I just put in there? That was 211, not 210. Whoops. Well, you know what? Let's do this. Just swap the lid out. Sorry, I'm having a brain fart moment here. Okay. I'm glad I checked that. I looked over and was like, wait, no, this one is 210. What was I saying? Okay, so you'll see post reviews go up. I'll have a post review video for Star Sailor from the Creativity Squirrel, and a start to finish video on Mermaid Lovers from Jada Gem Shop. Now, the post review for Star Sailor, that one, is one of those that I was trying to handle in a balanced and I don't know, like a really just level-headed way, because personally I didn't love a lot about working on that kit, but I'm not looking to bash the company either. So I was trying to talk about everything from a very neutral perspective. Like, okay, here are the things that I had trouble with. Here are the things that I think were really, a lot of it was very subjective. Personal preference, like I don't tend to enjoy computer rendered kits as much as hand charted kits, stuff like that. And just subjectively not enjoying working on that kit as much as I had expected to, for sometimes reasons that I'm not fully able to figure out what they are. So I hope that video is still going to come across with the right messaging and not at all like, again, like I'm trying to bash this company or warn anyone away from buying from them, but still being really honest about what my personal experience was insofar as like what's objective, what's subjective. And you guys will have to let me know if you feel like that comes through okay. The Herald of Spring kit, though, whenever I get around to that post review, I'm going to have a really hard time. Like, it's probably going to be, like, I'm not going to be tiptoeing around that one much at all, particularly for the price that I paid. And also because, like, Diamond Dots is a large corporation. And also, I think a little bit because I've noticed a pattern with some of their larger kits that I'm going to contact their customer support, because I've never tried contacting their customer support before to say like, hey, if I've had trouble with the kit, but I'm curious to see like how do they handle that kind of thing. What's happening is that I have run out of one drill color already, and I'm almost certainly going to be running out of at least 2 more on this Herald of Spring kit. Actually, hold on just a second. All right, sorry for the brief pause. It felt like nothing to you guys, but Adam just walked back in the door. He says hello. We dog sat for our friends this weekend, and he was just, they got back late, and so he was just running, Watson is their dog's name, running him back over to their house. So anyway, yes, so Herald of Spring. I cannot believe that I am running out of not one, but multiple colors. And the thing is that I've worked on a couple other large kits from them, like what's it called? Dragon Princess, the one I did a year or 2 ago for the Year of the Dragon. And also, I'm pretty sure Woman in Gold, both of those large Diamond Dots kits, both of those I ran out of at least one color on. And especially, like, I'm really salty about running out of colors on Herald of Spring, because, which I keep wanting to call Gerald. The story behind that, by the way, is that one time my phone twice, my phone auto-corrected Harold to Gerald, and it immediately made me think of Giraffes Can't Dance, this book that my youngest was really obsessed with, and Gerald the Giraffe. So now that Pegasus in that kit is named Gerald. So if I ever call that kit Gerald of Spring instead, that's why. It's because it's a whole thing. Anyway, that's one of their masterclass line kits. That kit cost over $200 retail when I bought it. I think I might have got it on a slight sale, but like it was in the ballpark of $200. And there's part of me that is very suspicious that the reason that I might be running low on some of these colors is because of the setup of it. They send it already like quote kit up in these screw top jars, and then those jars are arranged not dissimilarly to this, in perfect rows in this gold box, but there was the perfect number of jars to fill the spaces in that box with nothing left over. And so part of me wonders, did they short me and anyone that gets that kit on a handful of colors so they could fit it perfectly in that box? And I'm like, if that's really what happened, that's me being really cynical and not assuming the best. But that's just what my brain goes to, and thinking the audacity. Bless you, sir.
I am so sorry.
The dog was already on the other side of the room, so bless you.
I really tried to stifle it.
It's okay. So anyway, I'm not happy about it. And now I'm having the experience of knowing that I'm for sure running out of one color because I have like maybe 50 of that drill left and I can see on the canvas that there's at least 200. So it's not like I'm just running short. I'm significantly short on this, at least this color. Now it's like I have so much of this kit left and now I'm nervous about not knowing what other colors I'm going to run out of. It's a huge pet peeve of mine to run out of a color on a kit. I want to be able to work on a kit without feeling stressed about it. And can you get it together?
I am so sorry.
Can you?
Was muted.
Sir.
I'm just here to mess with your
you new? You've thrown off the Emperor's Groove. Throwing you off of the side of this building, sir. I do not have ADHD. My husband does, but I sometimes do very like behaviors you would normally associate with ADHD. I'm autistic, so it's like a cousin, right? We're doing that with topic hopping right now, but we introduced Micah to the Emperor's New Groove a couple of days ago. It's not the first time we've tried, but this time he was more into it and cracked us up the other morning coming into our room and being like, was he saying pull the lever, Kronk, or was he just saying wrong lever? He was just yelling wrong lever and then going, ah! And then when we would go, I don't even know, why do we even have that lever? They would just giggle. And I thought one time watching this movie, and he's already caught like one of the best lines in the movie. So anyway, so criminally underrated. And I would cry happy tears if Diamond Art Club, as part of their Disney contract, if there were ever any like Emperor's New Groove images in the mix of whatever they can get from Disney that would work as diamond paintings, that would be just incredible. I would even take an Yzma diamond painting, honestly, because she's just fabulously fantastic. So anyway, we're so far off the beaten path now. Going back to where this all started, Herald of Spring. I just want to work on this kit without being stressed about running out of a color. I already had gone ahead on Amazon and ordered some replacements of the one color I knew I was going to be significantly short on. Do I have leftover diamonds I could hypothetically pull from? I do. But Diamond Dots round diamonds have a particular sheen and kind of look to them that it's not really like other diamonds. They're not like other girls. No, there's something that they're just a little bit different. And I wanted the look of them to match on this kit. So I didn't want to pull from my spares because I don't think I saved any like of the Diamond Dots version of these colors. So, but now it's like having to buy a jar of these on Amazon. I don't think you can get these really in store anywhere anymore. Like Joann's had them when Joann's was around, but obviously that's not an option anymore. So ordering from Amazon, it's not even with Prime shipping. It was free shipping, not Prime shipping. So I'm salty and not excited about finishing this kit. So that's really annoying. That's really annoying. So I'm on the third to last column. I have one more section left in this third to last column. And then I'm going to move on to my other WIPs. Sorry, Adam walked out and then his ice cream fell over and that's just gonna spill everywhere once it gets soft enough. Okay. Let's make sure that this color is gonna fit okay in this container. If it doesn't, it's too late. I'm committed to the storage. I'll just have to store some of the extra that doesn't fit in like a baggie or something. There's not really any static in there. That was nice. Yeah, so I'm looking forward to adding other kits to the rotation, but it's going to be perpetually in the back of my brain, just wondering, am I going to run out of other colors on this kit? Is there anything else that's a pet peeve to you guys about diamond paintings like that just really throws a wrench in your experience? That kit has also just been such a long-term WIP. I think I started it did I start it in March? That's my longest running WIP. It's a big one, so it makes sense, but yeah, I'll be glad to be done with it. And this is the year that I feel like I'm getting to a lot of kits that I've been meaning to get to. Kits from a variety of different shops. Ones that it's like, I don't know, working on multiple WIPs has opened up my mind a little bit, because it's like kits that I wouldn't want to work on if it was the only WIP I was working on. Don't feel like as big of a deal to work on or as intimidating to do when they're just in the mix of several others. And so that's been really nice, actually. I'm enjoying it. Let's see. As far as videos go, I know this past week was a little bit on the lighter side with Diamond Art Club's kits being... Sorry, my allergies are bad. It's a little sniffly here. With sneak peeks being delayed from custom stuff, that's made just sort of my built-in schedule a little bit lighter, but I'm hoping that there's going to be some catch-up that happens. And I might have one or two things in to share this week. We'll just see what shipping does. I have one in hand for this upcoming weekend. And I think that my one for this past weekend shipped. But we'll see. We'll kind of see what happens. So I may be playing some catch up, but I just decided to go ahead and let it be a lighter week as far as videos go. And I hope that that's all right with you guys. I don't know, we're in kind of this like sprint to the end of the school year, and I've had other stuff I've been trying to take care of, like getting my D-stash packed and trying to figure out what WIPs I wanted to work on next, and doing that Filmapalooza last night. So yeah, just kind of taking a more relaxed approach to all of it for the moment. And I feel like that's working okay for me anyway. And I've been so afraid, like I haven't even let myself think about it. And I'm afraid to even say it out loud now, but I'm going to let myself and just pray that this doesn't age terribly and I horribly jinx myself. But I might have a kind of big channel milestone coming up that, to me, I just cannot begin to wrap my brain around. And like, I don't know, I'm trying to figure out if there's anything I want to try to do to celebrate it, or if I just don't want to make it like a big thing or a big deal. But it's every single time I open YouTube Studio, which is like the app or the website. Am I hearing ducks outside? I don't know if the mic's going to pick that up. I'm hearing... It's 11 o'clock at night. What am I hearing? Anyway, I'm so easily distracted. Whenever I open YouTube Studio, which is where you go to look at, how your videos are doing, look at the analytics and stuff like that. As soon as I open it, that top number up there is what my subscriber count is. And so I can't escape it. I open that app at least once a day, and it's just staring at me. So I've tried not to get too wrapped up in the idea of a particular milestone number, but this one does feel, I don't know, it feels like a big one to me, just in terms of a feeling of sort of personal achievement, though again, I've never tried to be super, super numbers focused, but yeah, so we'll see. That may happen soon, or it may not happen for quite a while yet, or maybe something will happen and I'm just going to slide backwards and it's never going to happen. And that's fine too. I'm just thankful for all of you guys that are here. I really mean that truly and sincerely. And I like getting to do this. It's fun to get to do this. Let me take a look at my notes. Oh, Summer of the Masters is coming up too. There's a lot coming up, actually. There's a ton coming up. The next week, 2 weeks, they're going to be fun, you guys. There's a lot happening. I think it's going to be a fun time in a lot of ways. So Summer with the Masters being one of those things. And I want to finish kind of nailing some things down. I'm still kicking around exactly how I want to do my video schedule this year. If I want to do videos every other week, or maybe spread it out a little bit and do like, every 3 weeks. I don't want to do just one a month. I don't think like I did last year. Like last year I did a kickoff video, a midpoint check-in video, and then a wrap-up video. And this year I'm thinking, I think I might want to do a couple, maybe one or two more videos more than that in the mix in the middle. I feel like I have a little bit more, maybe a tiny bit more capacity this year. So that's maybe what I'm thinking. I have my custom in that came in, and that was one of the videos I recorded an unboxing for last night. I'm a little nervous about how that one is going to come together. I mean, it's a custom of a John William Waterhouse piece. I knew it was going to be pretty much pure confetti, and it's a computer render, but I hope that it's still going to like manage to turn out okay. Like, I mean, hold on a sec. Is that just the one? I'm going to move these couple of packs over here. Old Masters pieces tend to do okay when they're a computer render and just really high confetti, but this is a dark color palette. I hope I'm not going to regret it. And I hope it comes together okay. We'll see. That's one I'll be also glad to have multiple WIPs going, because I think I would really burn out on this color palette and the really high confetti that's in this one. Otherwise, the timing is just right for me to be a multi-whipper. And I hope it lasts for a while. It feels actually a little bit like I'm finishing projects a little bit faster in some ways, which is the opposite of what I had expected. I had thought and worried that it was going to feel like I was losing momentum and never finishing projects. And maybe it has to do with the specific kits that I had picked out, where they're varying sizes. And so going a row at a time, some kits had fewer rows than others. And so a couple rounds in, I was already getting one or two finishes each round. And so I didn't find that it was, I didn't feel like I was losing too much momentum. And so I hope that'll be the case again with this round of kits. It went better than I expected in that way. So, okay, sorry, brief pause there. I forget what I was saying. Anyway, I think just talking about WIPs and stuff. So I don't know. Someone asked if I was going to do a check-in of how I'm doing, like with the challenge and what kits I'm working on next. And I was thinking about it, but honestly, the next couple of weeks, like the next week and a half especially, I have a lot on just sort of the calendar, figuratively and literally speaking, of stuff that I need to do. So I don't know that I'll be able to really squeeze in that video, but I do. Last year, I really liked doing a mid-year check-in. You know how I do my year in review? Like a lot of people do year in review videos at the end of the year. Last year, I had done a video, I think it was in June, towards the end of June, that was like a halfway through the year check-in. I talked about my goals and how I was coming along on those. And last year, I had made a list of kits that I wanted to work on. This year I have a bingo card, and so I could do a check-in on how my bingo card is going, and we could just, I don't know, chat. So I could probably talk about my progress and my feelings about the challenge in that particular video, but that would probably be, not for another month. So I don't know, TBD. We'll just kind of see how it goes. I have some kits coming in from other companies that I'm looking forward to working on when they come in, including another new to me company. And Diamond Art Studio UK has some Summer with the Masters, some old Masters kits that would work for Summer with the Masters, a mini set that I think I might want to work on depending on when it comes in. So I have things kind of on my radar. I was debating whether or not to work on that Preston Place kit that I had gotten in. I am very eager to work on a kit from this company, but admittedly, I am way more interested in their hand-charted kits than the computer render that particular kit was, and it has a lot of confetti in the top third with the cherry blossoms, and so I kind of maybe want to try to buy one of their hand-charted kits instead to do, because I just think that'll be much more my taste. So that's why you won't see that particular Preston Placed kit in the mix of all these new WIPs. Like I said, I'm very, very eager to work on a kit from them. I just kind of think I might want to wait and do a hand-charted kit, especially because they're leaning so heavily into that on their end, where they're releasing a lot of hand-charted kits. So I feel like that would be maybe more helpful. But if you guys are interested in seeing like more of their hybrid computer charted kits, I'm open to that. But even like this exact kit, I don't even think she is selling in this version anymore. She switched it over to the hand charted version. So that's kind of my thought with that one, with that particular shop. But I would like to definitely get to one of their kits at some point, among others. I am also in the market for, I think I want to look at getting a new printer. I've been running into a lot of printer woes, and I think I talked about this on, I think it was here, it might have been on my vlog. I try not to overload with like self-promotion or like marketing here, but I do have a Patreon and YouTube memberships. If you want some like behind the scenes content and other possible perks depending on your tier, those will be linked below. You can check them out. But one of the main things really I do is a weekly vlog. And so anyway, I may have talked about this there as opposed to in my WIP and Chat. So you may, anyway, I'm just trying to apologize for repetition and if there is repetition. So the printer that we have now just keeps really acting up in really annoying ways. Mainly, it was just frustrating in that it seemed to eat ink. I think it must have been in a WIP and Chat because I feel like I remember you guys telling me in the comments that this was a common thing if you didn't use your printer very often, depending on the kind of printer you have, which we've had this printer for a long time. It's not fancy. It just takes, I think, normal kind of standard printer ink. And we don't use it that often. And so, yeah, I think that the ink tanks or whatever they are must be like drying up or something like that. And like for the cost of having to replace the ink as often as we are, we might as well just get a new printer. And I think some of you guys would recommend looking at maybe a laser printer, something like that. If you guys have specific recommendations of brands or types of printers, I'm not excited about the prospect of how expensive that could be. But again, like the amount that we're wasting, it feels like, in ink makes me want to consider it. The other thing is that I was trying to print some stuff this week for some like documentation I needed to turn in, and it wanted to jam about every page. It was like, oh, there's a paper jam. I would go, look, there's not a paper jam. I would resettle the paper, try to make sure everything was aligned and blah, 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 blah. And still, like every fresh page, it would say it was jammed. I tried to print out just on regular printer paper, but I tried to print out some pictures of some of my diamond paintings to fill in the empty spots in my last logbook that didn't come with pictures that I could put in there. And when I tried to print them, like all the colors printed funky. And it wasn't the quality I had set it at. I tried messing with some of the settings and I could not figure out what the problem was. But I just kind of threw up my hands and was like, this printer is cursed. I'm so annoyed. So I will take printer recommendations if any of you guys have any to share. I would be so grateful. Adam, can I ask a favor? Mm-hmm. The TV is playing an ad. Can I ask you to go turn it off? Yeah. Can I say thank you so much. This is such an annoying thing. I hate that smart TVs now, it's like any opportunity that there is to be advertised to, companies are taking. Like if you let your TV sit on and aren't doing anything on it for an amount of time, all of a sudden it starts playing ads or like AI slop backgrounds and music, like scenes. It's neither of these are things that I want in my life, and I'm so annoyed that this is a thing that happens now without any say on my part. So I was just asking Adam to go turn off the TV because I heard it start playing in the background. Anyway, so printer recommendations, I would be so grateful. That's like ASMR pouring these into here. I don't know that I'll ever, at least for the foreseeable future, I do not see myself being a short form content creator at all. But I like watching some of the like really nicely, sharply edited with the pouring all the drills and the containers and stuff. I'm like, it's just so happy to watch. Anyway, what else has been going on? Okay. Been talking about diamond painting stuff, which is probably what most of you are here for, more than anything anyway, for a while. Let's talk about some other stuff that's been going on. So this weekend, we dog sat our friend's dog, Watson. They went out of town kind of last minute for David's, I think his dad's birthday. And they just asked, like, could you guys watch Watson? We're like, yeah, of course. Like, we're around. And Scout, our dog, and their dog Watson get along great. It was really, really funny when David came by to drop Watson off on Friday afternoon. And Scout was in our backyard, and there's like a glass door that goes from like our home into our backyard. And David came to the front door with Watson, and Scout saw them come in. I don't know if he was more excited to see David or Watson, to be fair, but Scout like leapt like I'm not exaggerating, like 6 feet into the air. Like when he gets really excited, like and he's outside especially, he just leaps just straight up into the air. And we're like, oh, he's excited. And so immediately let him in so he could come and greet David and greet Watson. And they had a big old time this weekend. They were running around playing real hard this evening. And I think it's good for Scouts to have that socialization, and Watson too, though we joke that Watson sometimes teaches Scout some bad habits. Watson will really bark easily sometimes. Otherwise, he's just this super mellow little lap dog. But then he'll bark, and Scout barks more when Watson is around too. And we're like, what are you doing? No, this is not a thing that we do. Not a behavior issue we typically run into, but it's not crazy out of control. It's just we notice a difference. But they had a great visit, and they said Adam took Watson back this evening, and Connor was really sad. Connor's like, when am I going to get to see Watson again? And we're like, buddy, summer is coming up. I'm sure that they'll probably go on another trip, and we'll be dog sitting Watson again soon. If nothing else, we'll get together with them and do like a puppy play date. You and Kenzie can play, and we'll get together over the summer, because what we're not doing this summer is going to spend it on screens all summer. We've been brainstorming some ways to give some structure to summer and do a little bit more. My mother-in-law sent Adam and I a link to, I guess some Pizza Huts are doing Book It this summer. So we might see if Connor wants to do that. Heck, Micah would love it too. He loves pizza, but Micah loves to read. Doesn't really take much convincing, but Connor is like, I don't know, he's a little bit out of the habit and hasn't been reaching for it as much. So we're going to see if we can add that back into the mix a little bit. He says he wants to, but he's just kind of out of the habit of it. So yeah, planning on trying to make this summer fun and active, though it's going to be an interesting summer. I think it's going to go very fast. There's a big change to our school district's calendar this summer that essentially means that we're losing 2 weeks of our normal summer length this summer. After this, it'll go back to like its normal length, but they're moving our school calendar. Like our school year is going to start earlier, and they decided to do it all at once instead of 1 week at a time. So it's going to be a shorter summer than normal. And there's a lot of different things that we want to do and that we will be doing. I'll be going to a diamond painting retreat in Texas with my mom again this summer, and that will be towards the end of July, and that'll be a good chunk of time because I'm on the planning committee for that. Drill just went flying, so I go like a day early to help with setup and everything. And then so that'll be like almost practically a week in July, really, after travel days and stuff. And then I know that we want to try to get to Arizona. My parents are going to be moving in just a couple of weeks. So any positive thoughts you have to send their way with finishing packing and all of the other stuff that goes into the process. They're in really good shape. I was cracking up. My parents live in the house that they sold, that they've been living in for 30 plus years. It's a good size house. 3 bedrooms, but then with I know there's a dining room, there's like a den, they like finished the room above the garage. So it's not a small house. I'm not trying to say that to be braggadocious whatsoever. I'm saying this to illustrate that it's really humorous to me that when they had movers come out to take a look and give them quotes for moving, like the movers that would come out would call it, oh, this is like a small to medium size move. And I just said, only my parents would manage to downsize and declutter enough that they'd be able to get this size house with a whole basement too, mind you. I'm so jealous of their basement. What I wouldn't do for that kind of storage, but that only they could manage to downsize and get rid of enough that you could call this a small to medium size move. So they're in good shape. They're in good shape. But cross country move is no joke. And anyway, really hoping that we can get out there once this summer. But again, it's going to be tricky because the kids are going to go back to school mid-August. And want to like time it all just right. And my mom and dad wanted to come out here because normally my mom comes out for Connor's birthday, and obviously didn't do that this year because they're in the midst of selling the house and stuff. Okay, all the rest of these drills are special diamonds. Let's take a look at these. So there's that. And then Micah has summer school. And yeah, I think the summer is just going to go lightning fast. Lightning fast. Adam and I's wedding anniversary is at the end of June. 16 years, which is wild. We share an exact wedding date with Amy Pond and Rory from Doctor Who. I remember about falling out of my seat when we were watching and that episode came on. And their wedding date, like the actual date itself comes on the screen. It's like a prominent plot point. It's been forever since I've watched, so I don't remember the exact circumstances of it. But I just like, Adam, we share an exact wedding date with Amy and Rory. It was funny. So I should rewatch that sometime. I never watched the most recent Doctor. I always mispronounce his name, so I'm not going to try. Nshuti Gatwa? Anyway, he only had the one season, I think. And I guess there was some drama maybe with how that all went down. But yeah, I never got to watching that season. I actually never watched Jodie Whittaker's season either, which seems like a crime. But I kind of fell off during Peter Capaldi, which is so sad. But maybe someday I'll get back to those. I don't know. Yeah, tangent. That's going to be the theme of this Women Chat. So that's, yeah, summer. Busy summer coming up. That was the point. In a good way, though. I'm excited for it. Last week, I also had the chance to, speaking of going into the next school year, Connor's going to be going into 6th grade, which is the last grade of our elementary school. When I was growing up, 6th grade was part of middle school, but out here, I guess it kind of depends on the district. But there's like a whole fundraising team for 6th grade because there's a lot of different things they do for 6th grade. And my dear friend Stephanie is the head. She's like the 6th grade chair on the PTA, and had put out a call for, if anyone wants to help with fundraising. And I thought, this would be a great chance for me to sort of get a little bit more involved at the school. It feels less intimidating because I know Stephanie, and also like she and I have volunteered together and worked together before. And I love her. I love her dearly. She's still often the person I list for my emergency contact for my kids because she's very local, and I would absolutely trust her with my kids. And yeah, it's just a very, very, very dear friend. So she had done a meeting at her house on Thursday night for anyone that was interested in joining the team. Talked through like the different fundraisers and the different things that we fundraise for. There were like 15 other moms there. I had the chance to chat with a few others. It was really cute. We all introduced ourselves and mentioned who our kids were. And I forgot to tell Adam about this, but one of the moms that was there, when I said like, oh yeah, I'm Katie and my son is Connor, and said our last name and stuff, and one of the moms was like, oh, you're Connor's mom. Oh, Connor's so sweet. And actually, all she said was, oh, you're Connor's mom. It's nice to meet you. And afterwards, I had said, so I have to ask, like, how do you know Connor? And I was like, because it could be a good thing or a bad thing. And she laughed. She's like, no. It's very sweet. She said her daughter, I guess, will often sit with Connor at lunch. And so they're friends. And I was like, oh, okay. And so that was just a sweet moment. And, Connor has struggled with, I feel like this is the first year he's really started to have more friendships and started to thrive a little bit more socially. He still certainly struggles. And that's, I think, just kind of goes with being autistic, and it is what it is. But I'm still so happy that he seems to maybe be finding some people that he gets along with. And there are people that, like, friends that want to be around him, like eating lunch with him, that sort of thing. So it made my heart happy. And then after the meeting ended, I was kind of in the last group of girls going out, and I very not so subtly, because I didn't want to invite myself over, but I didn't know if Stephanie would want to just chat and hang out a little bit afterwards. So as the last couple of girls were walking out, I just kind of turned to Stephanie and said, would you like help cleaning up at all, or are you good? And she said, oh yeah, come back in. So I went back into the house with her, and we just sat and chatted for a couple hours, and it was so nice to get to catch up with her. We both are just at the stage of life. We're really busy with lots of different things going on, and don't get the chance to spend nearly as much time together as we used to. And so it's a real treat whenever we do have the chance to just sit and chat a little bit and catch up. I'm so thankful for all of the like online friendships that I have, and I'm thankful for the in-person ones that I have too. It's really nice to have. So that was my, I think, Thursday evening, and yeah, we chatted for a while. Oh, these iridescents are staticky. I'm almost afraid to pick this up to try to blow into it. I'm afraid they're just gonna go flying. I think I can maybe just get them out. Is that all of them? Okay, yeah, we managed. And we'll see. I don't feel like I'm particularly good at coming up with ideas and stuff for fundraising, but put me to work, and I will be happy to be helpful, or happy to help with maybe some of the more like admin side of things on the back end. And there we go. I can't believe my Connor's about to be a 6th grader, and that means next year's middle school, which I cannot. He had his annual checkup this week, which, aligned with his birthday and all that. And obviously not going to go into tons of details because, hello, let me try to protect my kid's privacy a bit. But I will say that the doctor said it seemed like, just based on percentile movement that he's going through, like height-wise, a bit of a growth spurt. And I'm so curious to see where he lands height-wise, because I'm like 5'7", and I have some tall genes on parts of my side of the family, and Adam has some on his side, but then some like shorter genes too. So we'll just see where he lands. But he's doing great. He was just a little chatterbug with the pediatrician, and she was, I think, really charmed by him and stuff. So that went well. And then Micah's been doing good. There have been a couple of things we've been struggling with a little bit at home that I'll keep somewhat private, but today was a better day on that side of things. And he is doing pretty well at school, which I'm really, really grateful for. This year, I would say, at school has been a pretty good year for him, where he just is making a lot of progress. His speech has come a really long way, and we and like the teacher and the team, we've all been working really hard to help him grow and succeed, and I am ever grateful for the team there at the school. Yeah, I would say it's been a good one. That is so, look at that. They're just climbing the walls of this one. Let me go ahead and just tuck, that's the worst I've had yet. Let me tuck a dryer sheet square in there. I sometimes find that the special drills are more static prone. I don't know why, but there we go. Z552. I think the timing's going to work out well with this. Yeah, I'm going to finish this just as we're getting to about ending time. Let me see if I had anything else I wanted to make sure I covered before we kind of get towards the wrapping stuff up. I guess not really. Yeah, we talked about a lot. Okay, let's talk about what I've been reading and watching and listening to. Reading wise, I have been taking my time getting through Oathbringer, which is a Brandon Sanderson book. It is the 3rd in the Stormlight Archive series, and I'm enjoying it quite a lot. I was chatting with my friend Kate the other evening, and she's the one who really got me into Brandon Sanderson and is so sweet about she said she loves it, so I don't think it's any hardship, but I'll text her out of the blue and be just with a line of dialogue that made me literally laugh out loud, or, a shocking moment that I'm like, OMG, like, what is happening? And she was saying that she really, I think this is one of her favorites, and there's a lot that she really enjoyed about it, but it has a little bit more kind of to it. And so I'm okay with just sort of taking my time getting through it and just sort of sitting with these characters, living with these characters. To me, what it's felt like, I'm around like 20 chapters in now, and I still have over 20 hours left of listening time at my current listening speed. So I'm not really that far into it. Like maybe a sixth of the way into it, maybe. Anyway, I feel like the first book was a lot of setup, introducing you to these characters and laying a foundation. Book 2 was starting to explore these character arcs, seeing them kind of come together, introducing like some new conflicts beyond just sort of laying the foundation. And then this third book has felt like a very natural extension of that. And we're really diving deeper into these characters. Now, this I don't think is spoilery at all, because within the beginning of the first book, there's like a few different main POVs, points of view, that you kind of go between. There's like Kaladin, Shallan, and Dalinar, and each of the books so far has had flashbacks to one of the characters where you learn some really important things about the characters. So the first book, there would be these flashback chapters for Kaladin. Second book was flashback chapters for Shallan. And then this third book, it's about Dalinar. And I've had some questions about this character. And there's a lot of like mystery about certain parts of his character and his story. And I feel like I'm like starting to get hints of like, okay, we're going to get some answers. And it's also really interesting to me because he's not like a traditional protagonist. There's so many... there's such nice variety, I feel like, with Brandon Sanderson's characters, where they're not all just these like young 20-something like perfectly able-bodied and stereotypical protagonist hero characters. They're more complex than that. Dalinar is like middle-aged and has like there's more to him. I don't want to say anything for fear of potential spoilers, but it's just really interesting and fascinating to me that there's not like in the annoying way that this word can be used, but in the truest sense of the word, there's a lot of diversity and representation. And I've really been enjoying that quite a lot. I know a lot of people talk about how kind of the main character of the first book, Kaladin, and I fully agree with this, has just one of the most accurate representations and not stereotypical depictions of depression that I've ever seen. Like one of those things where I like had to sit down because I was like, I don't know that I've ever seen an author or someone capture what depression looks like in such an incredibly accurate way. And not in a like, now I'm depressed, but more of a like, I feel seen in a really like uplifting way, or just validating way. So that was... yeah, I'm like all aboard drinking the Kool-Aid of Brandon Sanderson's writing. And I'm just so glad that I have so much more to read of his. And with this guy's output, there'll be plenty more to come in the years to come. So that's my long version of what I've been reading. What I've been watching... this is more what I'm excited to watch. Adam just finished rewatching. He wanted to rewatch the first 2 seasons of Good Omens before we watched season 3, and he just finished rewatching season 2 yesterday. So I'm stoked to get into season 3 of Good Omens at some point soon here. I'm very nervous. I'm very, very nervous given how season 2 ended. And I don't want to give any spoilers, even for like season 2, but if certain things don't happen with certain characters, I don't know how I'm going to feel about it. So we'll see. We'll see how this goes, but no spoilers. If you guys have watched season 3 of Good Omens, give me your... I don't know if I want spoiler-free reactions. I feel like any reaction in the comments is going to tell me something, but maybe we can talk more about it in next week's WIP and Chat, 'cause I think we'll try to watch it soon, sometime between now and next week. I'll watch season 3 of Good Omens, I hope. And then listening to I'm back on I like took a week or 2 off, and now I'm back to listening to the Claire Obscure Expedition 33 soundtrack. It's just too good. There's a million tracks on it, and it's delightful background music. Just put it on, live in the vibes. It's good stuff. So
you know, it also has a great soundtrack is The Mandalorian and Grogu. Also, it's a great movie. Go see it.
It's Adam. Yes, there you go. Adam's contributing his watching. He took Connor to go see The Mandalorian and Grogu, and he said that it was very like, even if you weren't a Star Wars fan or like weren't familiar with the story in general, because like I haven't caught up on the TV show, it was still really enjoyable and you could keep up with it. So he's like, you have to make sure you go see it. And I was like, okay, well, I'll try. Anyway, you guys, that's my reading, watching, and listening to. Feel free to share yours if you would like in the comments. So here's the artwork we're going to be working on. We're all kitted up and ready to go. I've got a few extra bags of a few colors up here in this pocket, but then we've got this lovely rainbow of colors down here. It's so happy. These special drills are fantastic. We've got like ABs out the wazoo. We've got like 6 ABs. So we got these 3 colors of ABs. I'm just going to show you before I wrap this up and actually call it. Here's our ABs. They're so happy. And then we've got, because you can't really see the colors when they're down here like this. We have 2 crystals. I'm sorry, iridescent. And then 6 fairy dust. So just like little shimmery, glittery diamonds. So I am excited for all of the special drills in this kit. There's an extra bag of the white. I'm just a klutz. Just ignore me. It's fine. So there's our fairy dust. Anyway, thank you guys for joining me for this WIP and Chat today. If you made it all the way to the end, I feel like we did this one recently, but just because it's so obvious, let's do a rainbow emoji for this one. Let me know you made it all the way to the end. And if you're so inclined, let me know what you were working on today, anything that you've been up to that you feel like sharing and how you're doing. I always love hearing from you guys in the comments. If you're not already subscribed and you enjoyed this video and would like to see more from me, I'd invite you to subscribe. I am, like I said, approaching a kind of wild subscriber milestone that it'll be really cool if it happens. I will be okay if something changes and it just never happens, but it'll be fun if it does. There's some really fun stuff coming this week. I hope you guys will hang around and join me for it. I'm not going to say more, but I think it's going to be a good time. And I look forward to seeing you guys really soon too. So thanks for spending some time with me today. I hope you're doing very well, friends. Happy crafting. I will talk to you in the next one. Bye.